Hello everyone, my name is Clara and you are back and you are on the Ink Path, which is the channel that I basically created where I talk about books in English and in Spanish. You can select which playlist and which video do you want to watch or which language do you want me to talk. I am a Spanish person, but as I said, I talk about books in those two languages. So today I bring you my April and my wrap up, but I'm extremely happy because I am one subscriber left to reach the 100 subscribers, which is a milestone that I've never thought I would be able to reach. So when that happens, I am going to prepare, I have planned special kind of more interactive videos about my reading experience, so you will be able to check those with yours, and I hope we can create a debate about which method of reading is best. So don't worry, I will let you know when that happens, and I will post the videos that I'm thinking of. So according to my Goodreads kind of profile, in April I read a total of 2 books, and in May I read a total of 3 books. You may think that's an awful amount of books, like very low amount of books, but with my PhD thing I am not very into reading lately. I have a ton of books that I want to read, but I don't have the concentration of reading after having to check and reread academic papers. So that's basically why my reading amount is very small. But we are going to go through the books that I've read. The first book I read in April was actually a reread that I did with 2 friends of mine from Twitter and on real life. So I reread The Winner's Curse by Marie Bukowski, which is a book about invented society based on the Roman society that has conquered another territory that is supposed to be like the Greek territory, to have this kind of mirror society. So as the Roman did in this new society, the conquerors decide that the late owners of the new land were going to be transformed into slaves. So at the beginning of the story we met Kestrel, who is the Valorian girl. Valoria is the new is this kind of Roman inspired society. Kestrel is the daughter of the mayor, or the biggest general in the Valorian army. So she is a normal girl. She knows the power that her father has, and she goes through a lot of pressure just because of that. But she is also aware of who she is in this society, even though she doesn't use her influence because she doesn't think she has any in the society she lives in. But one day, accidentally, she buys a slave, a young boy, apparently more or less of her age, and she doesn't want to buy him, but she does, and this leads to a set of events that basically turn her world upside down, and nobody is who she thinks they are. So it's really interesting to see how that changes from a tiny kind of selfish decision of buying someone. Take into account that buying someone in the Roman era, was buying a slave was something that was permitted. So you go to a different timeline, or even though it's invented, it's a different timeline. So these kind of things are more to set you in context. This book, I already at the beginning of my channel, I already posted a very energetic review. I will leave the link in the info box down below in case you want to check it. So after The Winner's Curse, I read a Spanish children's book that was awarded with El Barco de Vapor. Now, for those who don't know, El Barco de Vapor is one of the most important, if not the most important, children literary award given here in Spain. And this year, the 2018 Barco de Vapor award went to La Niña Invisible, which was a book written by Puño that was more or less targeted to 8-9 years old audience. And in this story, we go to the prehistory time, and we meet this kind of group of this little tribe called the Invisibles. Trog wants to do the journey that the boys in her tribe do, to become members of members of action in her own little tribe. So she decided that she's going to take the journey as well, even though girls are not allowed. I really enjoy this story. I think it's a very powerful story, even though it's targeted for children, very small children. And I hope I can talk to you more about it in a small review that I'm planning on doing. When May arrived, I decided to continue with the Winner's Trilogy, reading The Winner's Crime, which is the sequel to The Winner's Curse. In this one, even though I'm not going to tell you a lot because I want to do a proper review, the event that finished the last installment has very shattering consequences, and this is where we are going to see a different environment, a more mature Kestrel, and the importance of being able to maintain your word and protect what you want. And I'm being very cryptic because anything I can say I will probably pointing out a spoiler, but I will have to say that I consider it even better than the first book. I think it was a rounded book, a very, 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 very tense book, and I found myself crying most of the time. But I really like it. It's a 5-star for me. After reading The Winner's Crime, I read in May The Merchants of Venice, but it's not reading what I did. I listened to the BBC 3 radio dramatization of the Merchant of Venice, because it was open to those who don't live in England or in the UK. So I really enjoyed the BBC 3 radio dramatization. So I will tell you more about it in a quick review. And because I missed the theater kind of vibe, I decided to read another Spanish book, YA Spanish book called Globe, by Alba Quintas García. Globe is a fantasy little book that explores this kind of invented world where theater, as we know it, is the center of life. In Globe, everything is related to theater and plays and actors, and one day Gilbert, a boy from our world, wakes up disorientated in this unknown land, and she has to deal with the fact that she has to go back to the stage if she wants to survive in this new environment. And I adore this story. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I was very moved. It's lovely, and it has a lot to do with Shakespeare. So I'm probably saying his name wrong, but I will talk to you more about him, about the book, in a combined review maybe with The Merchants of Venice, because I think it has a lot of references to that. But we will see. This is all I read so far, and I hope you pick interesting reads during these months. What have you read? Tell me a little bit of the books that have you entertained during April and May. Bye!